Operation Epic Fury.
Something just changed in President Trump's Iran strategy, and the media is still pretending this is just another maybe, another framework, another diplomatic rumor. Well, it's not. Listen to the language coming out of the Trump administration right now. Not hopeful, not tentative, not exploratory, confident, forceful, final. President Trump is talking like the hard part is over and Tehran knows it. Vice President JD Vance is swatting down fake leaks. Markets are already reacting. Oil is dropping and Iran's public denials may actually prove the White House is winning. So here's the real question tonight. Are we watching negotiations or are we watching the aftermath of Trump already breaking Iran's position? Now this matters because the real story is not whether a signing ceremony happens in Geneva on Sunday or next week. The real story is that the Trump administration now appears to believe the central dispute has already been resolved. And that's the difference. For months, the language around Iran was all about talks, progress, possibilities, and vague movement. Now President Trump is saying flat out that Iran wants the deal more than he does. He's saying they've agreed that they will not have a nuclear weapon. That's not trial balloon language. That is victory language. And take a look at the surrounding signals. The stock market jumped. Oil began falling. That's not driven by cable news chatter. Markets react to probabilities, to risk coming off the table, to shipping lanes reopening, to sanctions framework becoming predictable. In other words, serious people with serious money are beginning to price in the possibility that Trump's peace through strength formula is working exactly as promised. In the leak fight, that may be the biggest tell of all. Governments do not rage about leaks and terms when talks are dead. They rage when the deal is close and the remaining battle is about optics, compliance, and who gets credit. And while we're talking about solutions that work in the real world instead of media spin, let me tell you about something that got my attention for the very same reason. You've probably seen the clip of Joe Rogan with Mel Gibson talking about people close to them, going through serious health struggles, and then seeing dramatic turnarounds. Rogan brings up light-based therapies and how they work at the cellular level. Gibson says it plainly, the stuff works. That hit home for me. In my own life, I watched something similar with my wife, who dealt with constant discomfort and anxiety for far too long. That's why I looked into red light therapy and the work that Jonathan Otto is highlighting. If you want to learn more, you can simply check out the interviews that I've done with Jonathan on the channel or go to myredlight.com. It's one of those tools that people are discovering because it supports the body naturally. Use NNN25 for individual items or NNN30 for bundles. Check it out for yourself. Now back to the other story the media is struggling to process. President Trump is talking like America already won the leverage battle. And here's the part they really don't want to admit. The White House is no longer speaking like it's bargaining for the main objective. It's speaking like the objective has been secured, and the only thing left is enforcement. President Trump says Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. JD Vance says there's no cash giveaway and no free ride. Iran's own foreign minister says it has never been closer. So when Tehran denies this or leaks around it, ask yourself why. That's not the behavior of a side in control. That's the behavior of a regime scrambling to save face before the paperwork catches up. So President Trump's historic Iran deal could be signed as early as Sunday in Geneva, according to reports, but Iran is publicly denying it. And President Trump's now demanding they get their act together after leaking lies to the fake news.
Signing ceremony could come as early as Sunday in Geneva, but Iranian state media is reporting that those reports of that signing ceremony are false, so we're just going to have to wait and see. Jackie?
Seems like we've heard this before. We'll see if it's different this time.
Yep.
Max Gordon, thank you.
And we'll have to wait and see, but the reports say Sunday is in Geneva. Tehran already leaking denials and playing games now. Watch Trump cut through the noise himself and say the settlement is essentially locked with markets and oil reacting fast. Trump Daily Post says that Trump announced the Iran war is settled. Signing could happen in Europe in the next few days. Stock market jumped 1,000 points. Oil prices already dropping. Peace through strength is working. Listen to this from the Oval Office.
Today, I know you'll never be satisfied, but that's okay. That doesn't bother me at all. We just made a great settlement of the war with Iran, and we're going to be subject to finalization of documents, which should get done over the next few days. We'll probably have a signing maybe in Europe, and it's a great thing. Stock market's up 1,000 points. that means they like the deal. See, that means they like, if the market goes down, that means they don't like the deal. But it's been up, oil's dropped. Oil will start coming down to, I think, even lower than it was before. I said I was in Iowa. It was $1.85 a gallon.
So Trump says the paperwork's heading towards this signing in Europe. The market clearly likes what it hears next. He gets even more direct, saying Iran got hit hard and now wants the deal more than he does.
Why are you so convinced that this time is different?
Because they've taken a pounding. They've taken a pounding like very few people could take. And they want to make the deal a lot more than I do. And we could have had it done the other way, I guess, but it would have taken longer. They got hit very hard recently, as you know. And I don't like to have to do things that way, but I felt it was necessary. It's a great deal for the United States and for the Middle East, and I think ultimately great for Iran because they'll be able to build up their country and other country. I really believe it's a regime change because I find these people to be much more rational than the people that are no longer with us. We knocked out the first team of leadership, the second team of leadership. This is a different group. This is a different level, and I think it's frankly a smarter level, and it's a level that has reason. And they've all approved the deal. Everybody's approved the deal. Now we'll get it finished up, and hopefully that'll be done. We will not have Iran having a nuclear weapon, which is very important to these people behind me. We can talk about fishing. There won't be anybody to fish. The fish will still be around, I guess. They're probably going to be affected, too. We're not going to let it happen. So Iran will essentially, most important paragraph to me, Iran will in no way, shape, or form have a nuclear weapon or purchase a nuclear weapon.
So you heard Trump lay out the leverage. Iran took a pounding, and that changed the math. In the next clip, he zeroes in on the core demand: no nukes, no loopholes.
How confident are you that there will be a signing this weekend? Because you have come close to sealing a deal, but at the last minute it has fallen apart. And
it'll be soon. Maybe this weekend.
And has the Supreme Leader approved this deal, sir?
I understand the answer is yes.
And when this deal is signed, is the United States going to immediately lift the blockade?
Yes, that's true. That's part of the deal.
And
you'll have oil prices dropping like a rock.
And sir, have you actually secured an agreement on the discussions about the nuclear material and the nuclear negotiations?
Yes, conceptually on that, and nobody's getting close to it because it's buried under a mountain, basically. There's B-2 bombers in there.
But has Iran committed to not pursuing a nuclear weapon, or will there be more negotiations on that down the line?
They will not have a nuclear weapon. They've agreed to that. There will be no, which is the whole reason, which is a big part of the reason.
Is that going to be in your agreement, sir?
They will not only not have, they will not purchase, develop in any way, any shape, in any way, shape, or form a nuclear weapon. They will not have a nuclear weapon.
So that's the red line. Iran does not get a nuclear weapon. Now Trump explains why Tehran came to the table at all, revealing the quiet military pressure that hit their ships right after night.
We've been taking out ships, big ships, quietly at night. You guys didn't know that. Pretty cool, right? As a captain. He knows about more about ships than I do, but it's pretty cool. They turned off the lights. We bombed their radar and everything so they couldn't see what was going on. And we took out some nights 25 ships, some nights 15. Last 4 or 5 nights we did 25, 22, 21, 26, 18, and 14. Who else would remember those numbers? Nobody.
So it wasn't talk alone. Trump saying force backed every word right down to the ship counts. Next comes JD Vance calling out the fake reporting and making clear Iran gets nothing unless it complies. He says, I'm seeing a lot of fake information about a potential deal to reopen the strait and end Iran's nuclear program. First, the Iranians are not receiving any cash. No funds are being released for simply signing a deal or attending a meeting. The deal is structured to ensure that the U.S. and its allies' concerns are prioritized, and that if the Islamic Republic of Iran meets its obligations, then economic benefits will flow to them in the entire region. This deal has the potential to remake the region and lead to lasting peace. He says, I've noticed a couple bizarre things in the reporting over the last few hours. First, people who rightly said Trump was a historic president a month ago now criticizing a deal based on unconfirmed media reports. Second, people who say you can't trust a word said by the IRGC, who apparently believe anonymously sourced social media posts. The president is going to get us a good outcome one way or another. So he's blowing up the media spin. No cash up front, no sweetheart giveaway. America first is the structure. Now reporting tightens, with both Vance and Iran's foreign minister saying an agreement is now very close. Vance and the Iran foreign minister both confirm a deal is close.
Minister Saeed Arghachi, who says the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding has never been closer pending its finalization. The media should refrain from entering speculation about its content in line with our responsible and transparent approach. All details will be shared with the public in due course. And of course, Sarah, that's the key to this, is if there's a deal pending, what is in this deal and what does that mean for global oil?
So, what does it mean? It means that Trump may have already done what the foreign policy establishment said could not be done. Force Iran to accepting core restrictions from a position of American strength, not American apology. That's why the administration sounds different. Trump's not begging for a photo op. He's talking like the strategic objective has been met. No nuclear weapon, maritime pressure broken, economic benefits only if Iran actually complies. And remember why Tehran is at this point. Trump made clear they got hit hard. He referenced the pounding they took, the military pressure brought to bear, even describing operations that took out ships at night after radar was blinded. That's not weakness, that's leverage. This is peace through strength in its purest form, and the world can now see it. So don't get distracted by the regime's public denials, usual fake news noise, or the Sunday signing obsession. The deeper story is staring us right in the face. President Trump and his team are acting like the main battle is over. The fight is now about verification, implementation, and narrative control. Tehran wants to look defiant. Trump wants America to understand the truth. Strength got results. And if this holds, it'll be another America First victory delivered the way Trump always said it should be delivered. Peace through unmistakable power. No blank checks, no surrender, no naive globalist fantasy, just results. If you agree President Trump has Iran on the ropes and the media is once again behind the curve, share this report everywhere. Comment below and let us know, do you believe Iran has already accepted Trump's terms, yes or no? If you want more coverage, the corporate press will never give you straight. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications right now. But most importantly, we're cutting out the middleman. Text the words raw feed to 844-840-4963. Thousands and thousands of patriots have already done so. We saw your messages. We saw your comments. You guys never find out when our videos drop. You can't find us on YouTube, so that's why we set this up, so that you are in the loop no matter what. And let's celebrate more wins, shall we? America 250 is right around the corner. Check out the merch shelf below this video or shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now. You know out.